We're doing an interview with Jake today, pertaining to his theory on the midgets. Jake, if you'd please start us off.
Tell me what you want to know. I'm a wealth of information on hunting, gathering, and disposing of midget.
Okay. You say the midgets are regrouping and expanding their network. How so?
Well, there's been an upsurge in midget activity, especially in southwestern Ontario, and moreover in the Toledo, Ohio region. I believe there to be probably a master hive there where breeding takes place. But for some reason they've moved into our area, in and around London. I believe them to be building up arms caches, probably training camps, and kidnappings, and obviously stealing socks out of dryers.
Socks, you say? What's the link with the socks? I don't quite get that.
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's probably a rite of passage for their recruits. It's go into human settlements, human cities, and steal socks out of dryers and laundromats as sort of a I don't know what you'd call it. Well, like I said, yeah, a rite of passage for new midgets coming into the organization and trying to earn their stripes as they go out and they steal socks from us.
So how is this organization per se funded?
Primarily through the Little+People's Association of America, and I think they're into. I think they own some of the Sami Souvlakis around town. So I think gyros bring them in money. I know weapons trading is big for them too. But I mean, it's anyone's guess. Let's face it. I mean, it's a shadowy organization. So for anyone to know exactly how they're funding and equipping themselves is it's hard to tell, really.
How do these hives exactly work?
Well, it's you have a major underground cavern where you'll have the queen midget who will be mated by the other midgets, and eventually she'll expel a litter, and then they'll be brought up to the surface through a complex network of tunnels under human cities, and they'll come up out of the sewers and then engage in their activities.
And what would you recommend for one who's encountered one of these midgets?
Don't approach the midget. It could be violent. Well, it could be violent. It will be violent, but there's different degrees of aggression when encountering a midget. So the best thing I would say to do is run. Call your local midget hunter or midget capture company. They're popping up all over the place, which is good. I'm glad to finally see that happening. But if one of them scurries out of a bush or a burrow in the ground at you and is intent on attacking you, the best thing to do is right there. That's where their venom sacs are located. Deliver a swift karate chop to the venom sac, and that will break the venom sac, and the venom will subsequently go in to the midget's bloodstream, and it will go into anaphylactic shock, and then you can just like stomp on its head or something and get the fuck out of there. Or just straight up double tap center mass if you are lucky enough to own a firearm. Other than that, removing the head from the body, that works too. But yeah, definitely don't try and just get in a straight fight, because they're strong. They're very strong, and they have very sharp teeth.
Interesting. What weapons would you suggest for the general population to carry to protect themselves from, say, a midget attack? Are they susceptible to anything specifically?
Well, say the first thing in an all-out like midget insurgency, when they've taken over a town, probably the best thing that you can do is barricade your doors, obviously, basement windows. If you have any dog doors, definitely cover those. You definitely want some firearms, maybe some nunchucks. Samurai sword would be good. General explosives, C4, things like that. You'll definitely want to have just some general purpose weapons around. Anything you could use on a human, pretty much you can use on a midget. You may have to use it a little more on a midget because of their strength and their level of aggression.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, Jake. Is there anything in closing you'd like to suggest to the general public for midget safety, and anything we should know more about the midgets we're unaware of at this time?
Stay vigilant. This problem will go away eventually. It's something that we're going to be dealing with for a long time. Our children are going to have to deal with. Just go about your normal life. Don't really drastically change the way you live, because then they won. It's really more about just keep turned on, keep looking around. If you see one, report it immediately, and we'll get a crew out to take care of it. That's about it.
Thank you, Jake.
No problem. Anytime.